What's up everybody, it's your boy Magnus.Magneto from Now or Never crew. Yes, I'm bringing back the OverExplained format. I decided to make it a full-on format and series because you guys voted that you liked when I make these big in-depth videos about topics that I think are important. And we all know that I make videos just because I like to hear myself speak, so I thought it'd be a good fit. Roll the intro!
OverExplained is where I do a deep dive into any given topic and I explain it like a lot. So we should probably get into it so I don't stop, wasting your time. Okay, bye.
So intention. Hey Google, what's the definition of intention?
Here's the definition of intention. A thing intended, an aim or plan.
A thing intended, a name, or a plan. So, we're doing it as a thing intended, okay? Now, why I think this is so overlooked in breaking, especially in beginner to intermediate levels, when we get more advanced, I think we start to understand this a little bit more. But when you first start out breaking, you have a couple of these moves in mind that you want to get. Maybe you want to master flares, maybe you just want to have nice footwork. Maybe you want windmills, maybe you want head spins, maybe you want air flares. Usually you have a couple of moves or movements that you really want to achieve. So usually our goal for being a beginner is to get to that level where we achieve those moves. Once we've achieved those moves, usually we fall in love with more moves and more movements. But we tend to leave the ones we don't love so much behind. Now, if you want to be a footwork head and you don't want to learn all the power moves, that's fine. If you want to be a power head and you don't want to learn all the style moves, that's fine. But I think what we tend to forget is we get so focused on learning that one trick, that one move, that we forget the follow-up and the aftermath of that move or movement. And this is what I see a lot of, again, beginner and intermediate and also advanced b-boys do. You care so much and you dedicate so much time to something, but you throw away 30 to 40% of your style and your movement simply because you were being lazy, or you just didn't care, or you just didn't think it mattered. Now, if you have intention on that 30-40%, suddenly you go from this average breaker, this beginner, this intermediate breaker, to this advanced higher level breaker. Simply because everything you're doing looks advanced. Everything you're doing looks dope. Everything you're doing is intended to be done, if that makes sense. So rather than you just going out and doing, whatever move into whatever move, you're actually having intention behind every single little detail of your movement. Now again, some people like to just be freestyle, some people don't want to think about that, they just want to flow. Totally. And if that's you, you probably don't want to watch this video, you should probably turn off right now because that's not me, dog. Like everyone that follows me, I'm sure knows by now that I am a very detail-oriented breaker. I'm a very detail-oriented person, and I'm a passionate, try-hard type of person. That's just the way I've been. That's the way I got to where I am today, and that's the way that I enjoy living. I feel most alive when I put hard work in and I get results from it. So again, if that's not you, by all means, this video is probably not for you. But for all the people that are try-hard and want to progress, this is one step that you're probably overlooking and that could really, really, really level up your breaking, especially with the break reviews and with me seeing more and more. You guys have heard me speak about intention before and why I think it's so important with breaking, because it's literally showing that you care, if that makes sense. So I've rambled now, I'm sure we're ready for like 20 minutes. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you physical examples of how to actually apply intention to your top rock, your footwork, your freezes, etc. All right, number one, top rock and your arms, your upper body. We're gonna cut this into sections. So basically for your top rock, I talked about this and how to make a top rock with natural OverExplained, with not floating your hands, making sure you fully get to position. But I'm gonna stress it again, because I'm gonna keep stressing this until people stop sending me stuff and stop showcasing themselves to me with not having this done. So basically, whenever you do any top rock step, any movement with your arms, what are your arms doing? If you know what your arms are doing and you put them in a position, then guess what? We're all gonna be aware that you meant to do that, right? But when you're top rocking, if you're just doing this, I already care very little about what you're doing now. Simply because you're showing me by your body language that you don't care, right? But if you go boom, ha, boom, zoom, zoom, hit, like if your movements are exact, precise to each position, Your basic steps suddenly have this life to them. You're suddenly showing me and proving to me that you actually care about what you've done. You practice your movement because you can quickly go from here to here to here to here. Yes, I know I'm gonna go to here. Yes, I'm going to here because I practiced to go to there. If you do that, then you're suddenly giving me this energy to where I'm now interested in what you're doing. I'm now passionate about what you're doing because you showed me that you spent hours in that corner in front of that mirror doing this. Looking at your angles, practicing your actual movements. Because you did that, I now am invested in what you're doing. Because I want you to succeed. Because you're showing me how badly you want it. Because you put that time in to get it. But if you're going out there and you're just doing whatever with your arms and your top rock and your body language is in that I don't care, I'm too cool for preschool mentality, bro, I don't care either. Because you're just showing me that you didn't have that hour, that 2 hours, that 15 minutes to train your top rock to get precise arms. Sure, if your style preference is this, that's cool. I'm just not gonna care about it. It's just honest. I don't care if you're the best breaker in the world or the worst breaker in the world. If you don't put your heart into something, I'm not gonna physically be invested in it because there's 1,000 other people that are putting their heart into it. And why would I give you my time when they're already proving that I should be investing my time into theirs? It's just a basic business principle. Now let's go to your feet. Same thing with your feet now. To have intention around your feet with what you're doing, practice it. What do you want to do? Are you just, again, being lazy with your top rock, doing whatever? Or are you 100% sure where you want to go? Is your weight fully transferring to a position? Are you fully stomping if you want to stomp? Are you being light if you want to be light? Are you quick, right? That's about being clean. That's about being precise. That's about having each of these movements look so good. There's a reason that some people's basics look so good and some people's look so bad. Because the people that look good simply drilled it. They intended to do every single movement that you're seeing from them. They're not just doing whatever comes to mind, being lazy with it. They're actually practicing that little movement over and over again. When they're doing their crossover step, they know exactly where their foot's going. When they're doing the step, here, 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 whether it's quick, whether it's slow, whether it's wavy, whatever they're doing, they practice that so many times that it's gonna look like it's magical because they put the time and effort into doing it over and over again so that you can see a polished final product, not just a lazy winged movement. All right, fam, let's talk go downs. Oh, trust, I get how easy it is to be lazy with go downs. And not just lazy, but our anxiety and our insecurity gets in the way of being intentional with our movement all the time. But the way to combat that again is drilling your movement and having intention behind it. So again, I'm gonna give you some examples of some lazy go downs and some not so lazy go downs. So again, there's many high level breakers that do the same go down almost every time, and that's cool. If that's you, that's you. But this is for people that want to get to that next level of movement. So now let's talk about tempo with intention. Are you intending your movement to be quick or slow? If you don't know, you should know. You know what I mean? Don't just be like, oh, well, this is just the speed that I do it at. Like, but why? If you have the understanding of why you do it at that speed, every time you do it, people are gonna be like, oh, that's really quick. Or, oh, he did that really slow and controlled. But like, if you actually have an understanding of what it's supposed to be like, people will actually understand what you're trying to showcase versus it just being another move in your arsenal. Never have a move be another move in your arsenal. Always have the move in your arsenal be the move that was supposed to be in your arsenal. If that makes sense. So we all have a go-to go down. For me, it would be just that. Now, if you're actually training, having like 10 different go downs, so you'd have one here. You could have one going like this. So you could have knee drop. You could have pull one sweep, right? You could have an air spike. You could have all these different go downs. But again, if you're doing it just like whatever, I'm not gonna care about your go down. Someone like Casper is a great example of someone who has intentional go downs. He always has intention behind his movement. Like, there's a reason that Casper's knee drops look crazy because he trained them to be crazy. So again, if you're just going Like, why don't you just practice that go down there so that you can do it exactly how you want to do it. If you want to do it with a Casper slide, if you want to do it smooth, then do it smooth. All I'm saying is have the understanding of what you're doing. All right, let's get into footwork now. So whether you've been breaking 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, 1 year, this can all be applied to you, okay? Because we tend to lose intention all the time. I do constantly. It's like, okay, Magnus, do a CC. Okay, but what did I do with that CC? I don't know, I just did what's natural for me. That's the first kind of CC that would come to my mind. Cool, now, how often do you go back and audit yourself? So we're gonna talk about auditing yourself. Self-auditing is huge. Look at your style, and if there's something that you don't like about it, change it. If you like the way someone's CCs look, why do you like the way their CCs look? If you don't like the way your CCs look, why do you not like them? You know what I mean? It's one thing to break, but if you actually want to progress and get better, start actually being aware of what you're doing, right? If I'm doing a CC, what am I doing? Actually look in the mirror, okay? My foot's going here, my leg's going there. But could I go even more extreme? Could I go straighter with that leg? Could I have higher hips? Could I kick this leg out more? Could I kick it up here? Could I bring it in? Could I rotate down, right? How many different ways could I CC if I just change my movement a little bit? So rather than just doing something because that's the way you've always CC'd, why not try to make it like your best move? Rather than making it your filler foundational move, why don't you make your filler foundational move your best move? Because if every single one of your moves is like that, then every single one of the moves you do is gonna look so nice to everybody. That way, you can smoke people with using moves that everyone else believe is filler. But if you stop thinking they're filler and start being like, how can I make my 3-step into a blow up? Or how can I make my 3-step into the most creative move? Or how can I make my 2-step into the most flowing move that I could? That's the reason why I've made so many of these variation videos, is to try to give you guys ideas and options to actually create these moves and movements that other people may not be thinking about, if that makes sense. So why don't you really start looking at your basics and ask yourself, why do I do it this way? And am I happy with the way I do it? If the answer is, I do it this way because, and yes, I am happy, and you have reasons for both of those, fantastic, bro. You're already ahead of so many people. Because a lot of people, when breaking, don't think about that. Because we're B-boys, we're in hip-hop, this is what we do, who cares? Why are we being lazy? Why should we not be treating ourselves as professionally as professional athletes do? There's no reason. That's just us being lazy. It's 2020, there's no reason to be lazy anymore, especially when we're in quarantine. Start actually self-auditing yourself and asking yourself why you do your foundation this way, and if you're happy with it. 2 questions that you should be asking yourself constantly. All right, next one. We already touched on your build up to something and your exit from something, but I want to give you some actual examples of ways to do this and ways to practice this. So let's say your move is a baby freeze, but let's say it's like a unique baby freeze somehow. Let's just say it's like this, okay? Just like a little bit of a variation, all right? So how are you getting into that and how are you getting out of it? Well, a lot of people will maybe just go like, literally, hit, and then come out of it, right? When you do it that way, you're personally showing me that your thought process has not matured enough to actually understand the in and the out, because you're just so focused on the orgasmic moment of that freeze. But what about the build up to the freeze and the exit from the freeze? So if you actually think about how can I intend to go into it a certain way and intend to go out of it a certain way. If you can figure that out, suddenly it's not just the freeze that's the highlight, it's the way you got in and out of the freeze that's the highlight. Someone that's a really good example of this is Bboy Stripes. Stripes gets into stuff such crazy ways and gets out of stuff insane ways. He blows my mind on his transitions. And if you can do that, it's a whole different level of breaking. So let's say you did a box CC, come out of it, then you did a kick around like this, spin, then you caught, catching towards you guys, then you did a freeze, then you got out of it, you actually went down under your bum, turned around, and hit like this. So then rather than that, it became box CC, rotate, up, pose, then out of it, around, hit. So now you show me that you not only thought about the final product but you thought about the build-up and you thought about the exit. So when you can not only apply it to your freezes, but your highlight movements, it shows the audience and also the more experienced eye that you actually took the time to intend to do it that way. It wasn't just oh, whatever, I'm just gonna get into my baby freeze some way that I can and get out of it some way. Spend the time. That's what it showed me. It showed me that you spent the time to actually think about that. Okay, I could go into floor work, I could go into style, I could go into power moves, I could keep going on this topic forever and keep using different examples, but I'm hoping that that kind of gives you guys enough to understand what I'm talking about. I don't want to ramble too long, else this video is going to be like 40 minutes and nobody's going to watch it, so maybe if it's just like 30 minutes, some people will watch it, so that's cool. But I'm just going to give you auditory examples right now, and I'll kind of overlay physical examples. So the reason I only did top rock, go down footwork, and freeze examples is because the rest have the same examples that I basically already gave. I'll just be saying the same things over and over again now, and I already say that a lot, so I'm going to try to not do that as much. But use those same lessons that I just explained everywhere. In your power moves, how you get into your power moves, how you get out of it. What's your entrance, what's your exit? And when you're in your power, are you going fast, are you going slow? Are you traveling with your power, are you staying in one spot? That's one thing actually we could talk about right now, is when you're doing your power moves, where is the positioning you want to be in? I realized you can again apply this intention everywhere. So even I'm learning more positions, even though I'm teaching it to you, and it's giving you the example right now, because this is a never-ending theory and thought process, which is having intention of every move and movement you're doing. I'm not saying you have to overanalyze everything, but if you can kind of have a little checklist of like, I'm gonna make it right here, okay? Tempo. Is your move slow? Is it fast? Is it medium space? Is it slow-mo? Okay. Is your move traveling? Is it stationary? Is it going diagonal? Is it going front and back? Is it a different direction? Like how many different things is there, right? Is your move aggressive? Is it soft? Is it a technically detailed move or is it a flowy move? Now I know there's like a billion different options for you guys in the moment, but the reality is the more clear you can be with yourself about what you want your move and movement to be, then the better it's gonna look. And the better it's gonna come across for the viewer because they're actually gonna be like, oh wow, that concept was really well thought out. And holy, that guy killed it with like a basic move or movement, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping some of this made sense, and as you can clearly hear, I'm very passionate about this topic. If I said anything to offend anybody, I'm sorry. I actually get hyped up about this. And I think this is a very important topic, and I think this isn't talked about very much within breaking because we kind of just expect everyone to know everything, and the reality is we're human beings and we don't know everything, especially with breaking. This is a very new art and dance and movement form, so we should not be acting like we just know everything. We barely know anything, bud. So we're all learning as we go. But I'm hoping my thought process here can kind of bring some clarity and some ideas for you guys on how you can progress your base movements. Because again, as I'm doing break review and these other things, and I'm seeing more and more of you guys' footage, and I'm seeing more and more breakers out there, this is one of the biggest things I see missing from most people is that they don't have intention with all the movements. Have intention with all your movements. Rewatch this video, put it as a podcast, don't look at my face, I don't care, but just try to jot down those points, and then next time you're training, and now that we're all at home in quarantine, I'm hoping that you've trained quite a bit. Use this. Doesn't matter how big or small your space is, you can practice this with every single movement you have. Okay, I'm done talking. I'm gonna go put my head in the sun for a little bit and calm down because I'm overhyped now. If you like this series and you like this topic, let me know what you'd like me to over-explain next. Comment it down below and I can definitely do that. A good 30 to 50% of the videos I make on this channel is from your guys' input, so it's really helpful for me and it's really beneficial for me and it helps me help you, which is what we're trying to do here. Okay, again, like the video, subscribe, and smash the bell button for more videos. Thanks so much for watching.
Love is love. Love is love.